Guys, it's Brendan. I'm going to do an unboxing video of the Flipper Zero that I just got. And I think what's cool about this tool is it is a tiny piece of hardware that is kind of like got that curious personality of a cyber dolphin. And it's super cool. I'll show it to you. It does have all these kinds of features here. So take a look at that. I mean, it's pretty cool because you can use this to use it as a completely autonomous and controlled a little directional direct position directional pad to control things like computers, smartphones. It uses common scripts and functions that are available from the menu to pretty much do a lot of stuff that have to do with things on the sub 1 gigahertz transceiver frequency. You can also do things that are going to control things like smart sockets and bulbs, IoT sensors, doorbells, and garage doors and barriers and things like that. It has a customizable radio platform too, which is pretty cool. So you can basically use that TI CC1101 chip to pretty much use it on the 433 megahertz spectrum to communicate with other flippers that are out there too, which is really cool. Someone did this off of the Tamagotchi project, apparently. I didn't know that, but when I found out about this, I was like, this is the new thing. But it can also read and store 125 kilohertz cards and tags, so RFID technology. It can read, basically it's like a man in the middle kind of device, and it can also read the NFC chips that are on cards as well as tags. Some people put the copper sleeves on though to try to deter these kinds of devices from getting into reading the chip. Essentially, whatever's in the sleeve, the copper thing is going to protect it from reading it, or at least scramble the transmission if it's in between that card and whatever device like this it is. So you can extend with hardware modules, so it's got GPIO pins on it too, and it's got these, I have never heard of this before, the I button, the Dallas touch memory keys. I have no clue what that is, but I'm really interested to find out. So without further ado, let's open this up. And it comes with a really cool instruction manual. So it's going to show you how to quick start it. So if you go online, you can go to docs.flipper0.1, and essentially you are going to need a micro SD card for this. So what I've done is I took the one from my phone and was like, I'm just gonna back up all this stuff from my SD card on my phone. I got a bigger SD card for my phone because I'm like, I need a little bit more space than I used to have. But it was a 256 gigabyte SD card, and I just moved all the stuff from there, which took forever, onto and backed it up onto an external hard drive. So it kind of tells you what you need to do for this. You do have to have an SD card. I'll show you how to do the SD card. I am going to flash, you have to flash an operating system or flash firmware to the SD card for the Flipper Zero to work. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this next part right here. So stay tuned. So I never really showed you how it looks when you unbox it. As you can see, there's kind of a really cool kind of looking box here. I don't know, is that like a marijuana leaf? That's it's cool. Like they made it really useful. So like you can just flip this out. It comes with this USB. Say this is a USB 2. Yeah, either one, or it's not USB 3, I don't think. And then yeah, it's like this. Yeah, it's got this little thing. It's so cool. I love how they design these to be like super nifty and like crafty. But yeah, it's kind of heavy. It's not really it is kind of heavy actually for what I thought. Like I thought it was going to be a little lighter weight than this, but there's a sticker that comes with this to peel off. I'm going to keep it on right now. I do have, so what I did buy with it, I bought the accessories that came with it. It comes with a silicone bumper for the Flipper Zero. So this thing is going to allow me to, it kind of is slippery like on the surface right here. So you're going to kind of feel like if you were holding it, you could probably slip with it, but this is going to help with that. What's cool is on the end of these, you're going to see there's a development board that you can plug into this thing. Let me flip it like the right way here. So you can see all the different kinds of pin out, and those are all labeled, so that's awesome. And then I'm going to probably wrap that, and then it comes with these prototyping boards too. So like what you can do is kind of extend the use of this Flipper Zero tool into anything that you want to make development wise. So you can make your own, you could literally 3D print and design your own boards and extend out from the Flipper Zero device and use it for anything that you'd ever want to build for in the future. So that's really what the cool thing about this tool does, is gives you that scalability for whenever they make updates to IoT devices and different kinds of technologies. This thing can, as technology comes out, you can build for and extend applications out from it, which is super cool with this development board. So it's Wi-Fi enabled, super cool. Plugs into this part of it, and it kind of looks like that. Let me show you. And yeah, super cool. So yeah, it comes in like this. So yeah, like that. Look at that. It's freaking awesome, right? And then what you do, and I'll show you a different video on how to do this, but essentially when this SD card is in here, it's got the Flipper Zero firmware flash to it. You are gonna, and when you want to plug in the Wi-Fi board, you gotta hold this boot button, and it's labeled boot, so that's cool, right? You hold the boot button and then you plug it in, and then that's essentially how you get the Wi-Fi development board hooked up to it. But yeah, this is all the stuff, and then yeah, it came with screen protectors. So I'm gonna peel this thing off and put it on, and when I do this and I have it all finished up and ready to go, I'll walk you through each step and how I do that, and I hope you enjoy. So thank you guys for your patience here. So what I find is the easiest thing to do here is to just go to the Flipper Docs website for how to figure out how to start to program and power on your Flipper Zero. So essentially, it shows and walks you through all the handy little steps there. So the first thing I did was I plugged in, before I could even power it on. It doesn't tell you how. So you have to plug in your USB in your Flipper Zero device with USB into a USB enabled computer that has a port. It is USB-C connection to the Flipper Zero device proper. What happens is when you plug it in, it tells you to start with pressing the right button, the right directional button, and then it actually says, the sticker on it says to hold the back arrow button to wake it up. So if it's sleeping, you would wake that up by pressing that wake up button, the back button. But mine came on automatically, so what it told me to do is press the right button, so I did. And then it walks you through like a cool set of what you do if you use the directional pad. But I like to go through, just make myself familiar with these documents first. So like how to reboot, and shows you how to reboot by pressing the left and the exit button at the same time. And it's got these little cool little gifs here on how to do it that really are helpful. So if you're familiarizing yourself with this, I know there's a lot of YouTube videos out there and showing you how to do this, but I think just following this is like a lot easier because it's coming straight from the manufacturer. And some people skip some steps and you're like, wait, how do you do that? So just getting familiar with the website and the manufacturers. And he's got little awesome tips like using high quality micro SD cards. Some of the micro SD cards out there, although cheap, may be kind of faulty. Found sometimes the manufacturers are, some are good, some are not. So make sure you use some high quality micro SD cards. Even branded micro SD cards such as SanDisk or Kingston would work. Kind of skimming it here. It tells you some problems on how to fix things. So what I'm doing is I'm using an SD card that I'm using is this new one. I'm gonna have to, or it's not a new one, it's a one that I've already used for a phone. So what I'm gonna have to do is actually reformat this. So I'm gonna walk through how to do that, and I'm actually gonna take my SD card out here, since I have it plugged in. So I'm just gonna go into the bottom left of corner of my screen. I'm using a Windows 11 computer, so if you're using Mac, it's going to look different, but I'm just going to walk through using it on my Windows. I'm going to probably come out with some tutorials on how to use it on Mac eventually, but just bear with me here. So I'm going to eject the SD card here so I can remove it safely. I'm going to take the SD card out and I'm going to plug it in to my Flipper Zero device as it was shown on this website. So let me kind of do as it says here. So as I put it in, look at it says the side up. So you want to make sure it's being inserted as it's shown in this video. So I'm going to do that. And you'll hear a click. You're going to see the little, it doesn't show it in this. Oh yeah, it does. It shows this little uh, LED kind of flashes, and then the screen is going to be telling you what's going on. And for mine, it didn't really do anything. It just kind of, the LED flashed, which is good. I didn't really get a mount message. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back out, and it says all data will be saved on SD card. Click OK. It says no databases found on SD card. So I think it actually worked. But I'm gonna go to the more. It says go right to go to more, and then it goes go to flip with two p's .dev/update. So I'm gonna do that by pressing the right button, and you can't really see what's going on here on the Flipper device. So why don't I walk you through one of the things we haven't done is actually go and install this Q Flipper setup. This is the Q Flipper setup. This is the Windows installer file. So I downloaded this from the Flipper Zero website, and I'll put the link to this in. Oh, here it is. The Q Flipper device documentation should be in this Flipper docs, or this docs.flipper0.1 slash basic slash first dash start. I'll put the link in the description for this so that you guys have it. So I'm going to walk through. It's like this is not installed on my computer, so I'm going to choose the location that I want it to be in. I have a location for it that's special to the Q Flipper stuff. I'm going to select all these components. I think that's good. I don't believe I've installed it before. So yeah, there it is. I've finished it, and it looks like it needs to be loaded. I think, or no, it's called Q Flipper. So I'll look for that, and it is installed. So there it is. So I'm gonna open this so I can see what's going on with the Flipper device, because I've plugged in I plugged in the micro SD card, and it's not really telling me anything what's going on. So looks like, and this is just a fresh, I just plugged in an SD card. I didn't know what was going to happen. This is just kind of the process of just kind of playing with it and seeing what happens and seeing how it goes. But I am going to, it looks like the USB is connected to the computer like it says here. And looks like the firmware that it says it's missing databases. Go update here, and it's going to say new firmware release 0.74.2 will be installed. I'll click the update button, and it's going to fetch the firmware from the Flipper official documentation, or the on the SD card. So without further ado, I'll let this run its thing, and then we'll catch back up when the device is done doing its thing. So as we can see here, the Flipper firmware update was a success. So I'm going to click on the continue button. So as you can see here, it is installed with the latest firmware update, and this baby is ready to use. So I am excited, and that is how to essentially set up your Flipper Zero. I look forward to making more videos in here. If you want to join the Intelligence Tech Gurus group on Facebook, feel free. I'm going to put a link in the description below. If you're looking for more videos on the Flipper Zero, I am going to come out with more as I learn more about this thing, and to share what usages there are and cool, exciting stuff. I am coming out with more of the security intelligence course offerings very soon. I have part of the class set up already, so if you're interested in getting in on that class, please do feel free to message me. I am available on Facebook as Brendan Brown, but feel free to join the group as well and to get more updates. There's a ton of documents that I've put out on that group that are free and do teach you a lot. So I'm giving a lot of gifts here in how to show you how to do hacking, social intelligence gathering, and things like that that'll get you started and getting you up to date with the latest tools and technology that's out there. So I hope you enjoyed this and have a great, fantastic evening, morning, and night.